Tyson at 13 physically was a phenomenon. He had that innate Dempsey-like aggression. He wanted to maim you with every punch.
There is a solid shot.
The buzz around the boxing industry was that there was a young kid who had power of a Sonny Liston.
This guy is the strongest, most intimidating fighter since Sonny Liston.
When Mike Tyson fights on TV, you gots to be there second one.
Down he goes! Oh, he's hurt! It's all over! He is knocked out! It was a vicious right hand! It came like a bolt!
Intimidation is Tyson's act. He was dynamic, savage, ferocious.
His anger, his aggression, that made him into the ultimate killing machine.
Hi, everybody. I'm Brian Kenny, and welcome to Ringside Mike Tyson here on ESPN Classic. We're blocks away from the Brooklyn Bridge at the site of another historic New York City landmark, Gleason's Gym. Since it opened in 1937, hundreds of champions have at one time or another trained at Gleason's. Jake LaMotta, George Foreman, Muhammad Ali, and occasionally even the man who will be the subject of tonight's marathon, Mike Tyson. Joining me here at Gleason's is my co-host, boxing historian, bon vivant, and raconteur Burt Randolph Sugar, ESPN boxing analyst and former trainer of Mike Tyson, Teddy Apple. So we're going to take a look at early Mike Tyson. I want to go pre-professional Mike Tyson. Teddy, since you're here, what did you see in Tyson when he first comes into the gym in Catskill?
So a 12-year-old that was 190 pounds and he didn't have fat. It was all muscle. And we were wondering, where's the birth certificate, you know? To legitimize that. But we saw a guy who was very willing to show us that he could stay with us. You know, he didn't have options. This is a guy who was in a detention center in Tryon for juvenile delinquents. He was going to be paroled at a certain point. He was on audition. Bobby Stewart brought him there for us to take a look at him. We let him box with Bobby Stewart, 27-year-old, former pro fighter. Not a great fighter, but a man. He was only 175 pounds. Tyson was a little heavier, but it was a man against a 12-year-old kid. Tyson didn't know anything. He was raw, he was crude, but he was strong as hell, and he was only 12 years old. And Stewart had to open up a little bit just to keep him in his place. And you could see that Tyson so much wanted to show us, to kind of ace the audition, to have a place to say. So you know he had incentive. He didn't want to go back, you know, to where it was in Brownsville at that point in his life, or, of course, coming from the detention center. So obviously there was a lot of incentive for him to show us what he thought we wanted to see. And he even showed the ability then to kind of hide what he was really feeling. He went 2 rounds and he got a bloody nose. And I stopped him after 2 rounds. I said, that's enough. We saw what we had to see. And I knew I was going to be training him. So I wanted to show him who the boss was going to be, who was going to be in charge. So he said, no, I want to go another round. Come on, let me go. Bobby, we always go. Hey, you didn't hear me? Get out of the ring. That's where you're going. I don't think he really wanted to go, but he wanted to show us that part of being a fighter was being willing.
Right.
And he wanted to show us that. So I didn't think he really felt that. Even
What
then,
do you think it was that, or he just rebelled at all authority?
No, I don't think he was rebelling. I think he was auditioning. I think he was a manipulative guy. He used to manipulate all you guys, all the media guys. And he had you were one of them. You were one of them.
You're talking to me?
Yeah, same cigar, same hat, you know? And
Literally.
And he was showing his ability to do what he had to do to manipulate the moment. He had to show us that he was a willing guy, not just a strong kid, but from a physical standpoint, hey, you didn't have to be exactly, you know, Angelo Dundee or, you know, Ray Arcel or Eddie Fudge to see, hey, we had something we could work with here if we could teach him.
Let's flash forward. March 6th, 1985, the professional debut of Mike Tyson against Hector Mercedes. Burt, when's the first time you saw Mike Tyson?
Well, I did not see this fight, but Bill Caton, his co-manager at the time, would be sending out film clips on DVD every 8 seconds. So I plug it in and I'm watching this kid with a butcher block body just beating the bejabbers out of people in a wham bam thank you ma'am fashion. So yes, I'm watching his first 4 or 5 fights, but I got him in a total DVD clip.
Mm-hmm. Teddy, how much was natural with Tyson? How much was he taught? Because we can see here already his punches are crisp, short, tight. How much was natural? How much was taught in Catskill?
You know, Brian, that's a great question. Because the story I just told when I saw him the first time and he got the bloody nose, I remember I thought back afterwards and I said, gee, 2-3 years went by, he never got another bloody nose. So he wasn't a natural. If he was a natural, he never would have got a bloody nose. Mm-hmm. He wouldn't have got hit with those punches. I remember all the people.
Even Robert Redford bled.
Yeah, but we're talking about a fighter here. And all the people would say, boy, this guy's a natural. But if he was a natural, he wouldn't have been getting hit. He wouldn't have to be developed. And years went by, and it hit me. This guy never got another bloody nose. So what was natural? His size, his speed, his ability to punch, that power, the genetics. Those physicalities, they were natural, but emotionally he had to be developed. And technically, one of the things that made him, I don't want to use the word great, but sensational at that point. To be great, you have to have longevity. He didn't have that. But what made him sensational was his ability to couple that talent with technique. That technique was his car to get there. The ability to make guys miss and use his speed and use his power.
Let's move ahead. This is April 10th. We're not move ahead too far at this point. April 10th, 1985. Trent Singleton. Now, don't blink. This is going to be fast. I think like a 3-punch combination here, Teddy. Blinding speed, body, head. I mean, it's incredible to watch these early tapes. No matter what the opposition is, this is impressive at his age.
Did you see the speed in his, as you call it, audition? Did you see that speed?
Yeah, we did. We saw that he was a guy at 12 years old that was strong as hell, but he had quick hands. You could see that, but he was raw, and he didn't have the technique. He didn't couple up with the technique. And without the technique, and I'm not in any way trying to, boast of myself. I'm just saying if he didn't wind up in Catskill with what he had, and with what he didn't have, with the flaws that would show themselves later on, I don't think with all that power he would have been world champion. The technique that he learned to use that ability was very, very important in his career.
Mike Tyson, 2 fights into his professional career. When we come back here at Gleason's, we're going to take a look at fight number 4 against Ricardo Spain. We're going to be here ringside. Mike Tyson here at Gleason's gym.
Now Joe O'Neill is going to make the decision if he's going to let Spain continue. And here comes Tyson again. He got him with the left hand, and he's out of here. It is over as Spain is down, and the left hand was the one that finally finished him off. After a quick right-left combination from Tyson, Ricky Spain down for the second time here in the first round. And Tyson is 4-0 with 4 knockouts now. That's a little